I knew something was wrong the moment her phone lit up at 7:14 p.m., a tiny vibration, one she tried to hide under her palm. But I saw the smile, the quick, involuntary one, the kind that slips out before the mind can cage it. She turned her back to me as she typed. A soft giggle escaped, not meant for me, not anymore. When she finally faced me, her expression was washed clean. "It's just a quick dinner with an old friend," she said lightly. "Don't be insecure." I didn't reply, not because I trusted her, but because silence is sharper than suspicion. She grabbed her purse, kissed my cheek like it was a duty, and slipped out the door. I waited and waited. My heartbeat didn't rise, my breath didn't shake, but something under my ribs clicked into place. A switch, cold, final. By 8:03 she sent a photo of her food, 2 plates. She claimed the other was for the waiter who accidentally brought an extra. At 8:14 I left the house, quietly, deliberately, not to chase her, just to confirm what I already knew. When I reached the restaurant, I didn't go inside. I didn't need to. I could see them through the window. Her leaning in, him smiling like he'd been waiting years, her hand brushing his, slow, familiar, and then the kiss, soft, hidden behind a wine glass, but not hidden enough for me. I took the photo, stood perfectly still, and sent it to her. 2 seconds later, "Wait, it's not what you think." Then, "Please don't jump to conclusions." Then, the panic began. Her messages stacked like falling dominoes. I put the phone in my pocket and walked away. I didn't need noise. I needed truth. People think betrayal is loud, shouting, crying, slamming doors. They don't understand. Real betrayal is quiet. It sinks into the bones, numbs the blood, sharpens the mind. For the next week, I behaved the same. I made breakfast. I asked about her day. I slept beside her. She kept talking. She kept apologizing for things I never confronted her about. Her guilt was a living thing, pacing behind her ribs. I watched, listened, stored every slip of the tongue, every jitter, every late-night whisper to someone she called just a coworker. Her phone passcode was easy. She'd changed it to my birthday, a guilty woman's olive branch. And inside, everything. Messages, photos, voice notes, plans. Not just one dinner, not just one kiss. Months. She wrote things she never told me, laughed in ways she never laughed with me, shared pieces of herself as if I was no longer the man she lived with, but the man she used to know. I didn't rage. I didn't spiral. I cataloged. I built a quiet map of her second life while she slept softly beside me, unaware of the silence sharpening next to her. On Thursday, the final confirmation landed. A picture of them at a hotel, 3 weeks earlier. Her in the same dress she claimed she'd worn to a meeting. I stared at that photo for a long time. Not at her, at myself, reflected faintly in the dark screen. And I realized something chilling. I wasn't heartbroken. I was done. The difference is lethal. I waited until Sunday morning. She liked quiet Sundays, soft music, coffee, pretending we were still a functioning couple. She was at the table, stirring her mug, avoiding my eyes the way guilty people do. I sat across from her and slid my phone forward. One photo, the hotel one. Her face drained, her lips trembled. She whispered my name like a dying confession. "I can explain," she breathed. "I know," I said calmly. But I didn't ask her for the explanation. I didn't want her version. I simply laid her own printed messages on the table, pages of them, her words, her secrets, her choices. She broke. Not loudly, not dramatically. She folded inward, like a structure collapsing under its own lies. "I'm so sorry," she whispered, again and again. I said nothing. Silence is the purest form of truth. She reached for my hand. I pulled mine away. slowly, like removing the final thread keeping her upright. "This is the part," I said quietly, "where you realize you didn't just lose my trust, you lost me." She froze. Her breathing hitched. Fear replaced guilt. It was the first honest emotion I'd seen on her face in months. I stood up, took my keys, and walked to the door. She called my name, but it sounded distant, like someone calling from behind a closed window. I didn't look back. At the threshold, I paused only once. Not for her, for myself, to make sure I felt nothing. I didn't. And that was the real ending. Not the kiss, not the lies, not even the panic. It was the moment I realized she couldn't wound me anymore. Because you can't hurt someone who's already walked away inside.